What's going on, everybody? Scene Snob here, Mick Manhattan, my beautiful bride, Mrs. Scene Snob, Mary the Mommy. And we're back again with another married movie challenge. Now, if you haven't seen the last video, what we do is we've taken 10 pieces of paper each. So I've written Mick on 10 of them. She has written Mary on 10 of them, and we picked our names out of the hat. So, out of the bowl. So, if she picks her name, well, I'm picking this time, right?
Yeah.
So if I pick Mary's name, then she gets to pick a terrible movie for us to watch. It's not always going to be a terrible movie, but she's going to, for this purpose, we're kind of challenging each other.
We're kind of having fun with this one.
Yeah, we did From Justin to Kelly in the first episode. So
which is amazing. Check out the last review. He loved it.
Yeah, right. So
you wanted to do it again this time, but I said, no, we should pick a different movie.
No, I did not want to do it again. I'm never going to watch that again. So if I pick her name, she picks the terrible movie. If I pick my name, then I pick the awesome movie for her to watch. So here we go. It's all mixed up. Let me mix it up just a little bit more.
You don't trust me?
Nope. Okay, here we go. I'm never going to get to pick. We've done one episode before, and we had a mess up before that. And it's been Mary every time.
Yeah. And just so that you know,
yeah.
Mick's name is in there.
All right.
Somewhere.
So what terrible movie are we going to be watching?
The Room.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love The Room.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not really the reaction I was expecting.
But you've never seen it, right?
I've never seen it.
So then it's going to be a fun review.
All right.
Okay. So we are going to watch we're going to watch The Room, then we'll come back and we'll review it for you. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
And we're back. Scene Snob back again with Mrs. Scene Snob. We just watched The Room, which was in the Married Movie Challenge. Mary the Mommy's choice.
It was. I really hope we pick your name next.
You ruined yourself for the past two.
Really did.
Because you picked From Justin to Kelly and then complained during the whole movie how bad it was. No,
because I didn't really think about me having to watch it. Like, I just wanted to punish you, but forgetting that I actually had to sit.
Which is funny because in your mind, you're like, I'm going to punish this guy. And in me, I'm like, oh man, I'm going to show her that. Like, I was thinking Jaws of Revenge, Masters of the Universe, stuff like that. Like, I'm like, yeah, they're bad, but yeah, she'll find some kind of merit in them or something. And you're just like, oh, I'm going to ruin it for you. And I'm just like, The Room? Really? Like, I have so many fond memories of The Room.
But see, maybe if I had seen it, like, in my golden year, like growing up, impressionable years, I might have.
Well,
I also understand the cult aspect because you have explained this to me. Yeah. And, thinking about it in that way, having seen it as a grown-up, late in the game.
For anybody who didn't understand either, like, back in the day, like in 2003, way back when, you didn't have streaming sites. You couldn't just find any movie anywhere. And a lot of the art house indie movies, like old horror movies like horror movies that were banned, horror movies from like overseas, things like that, you had to go and find them. Like it was a scavenger hunt to get these movies. Like I remember going and finding like movies like Ringu or other like horror movies from Japan or Korea or whatever. Old Boy, I had to go, and before it became popular over here, you had to go find it. You had to go to conventions, talk to people who sold black. Yeah, you don't even want to. I won't even. Okay. Let's not get into that.
Fair. Okay.
Anybody who's seen it knows that I'm not going to get you into that one. So you had to go to like people who dealt in like bootleg movies, things like that, and they had it under the table. And if they didn't know somebody, they at conventions or someone else, they knew somebody who did. The Room, because he produced it himself, and he put it out in theaters to try and get Oscar contention for it. It got word of mouth. Like, this movie's so hilariously bad, everybody should see it, especially because of how he acts and all the dialogue and everything. So it garnered some popularity. And there was a tape. Now there may have been a DVD at that time, but we saw it on tape. I remember my buddy Chris came over and like we were drinking, hanging out, having a good time. We were young, and he was just like, "You've got to watch this movie." It was like 1:00 in the morning. We're like,
"Oh my God,
put it in."
Sure.
And it was just like viewings from that point, and like we had people come over.
So, do you think that at that age, part of the
Well, I walked away with a good memory of it. But
well, no, but what I was going to say is the gratuitous lovemaking scenes. Because they
if anything,
really
it was
were
just funny. Everything was just funny about this movie.
So funny.
Like, you know, so like, no, I don't
well,
think that.
I guess I'm asking because, like, me seeing it now, having the disaster artist come out, this and that, like, I understand, even having not seen it, I understand that there's a certain point of view you have to have going into it, like not taking it seriously, this and that.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, like, because you saw it before, you know, it was widely known as that, did that...
It felt like coveted, yeah.
Okay.
Like you, oh man, we got this. We got to see something that like is talked about by geeks mostly underneath. Right. Like normal people who watch regular movies didn't know and didn't care until it became more. Like I think having the Disaster Artist come out even like kind of woke up a lot more people to it.
For
to
sure.
Be like, this movie exists.
I never heard of it before that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that, I think that's what opened a lot of people's eyes after that. But before then, there was a cult following. It still has a cult following. If anything, for the cult following, the Disaster Artist might have kind of ruined it. You know, because it's like there's an allure to this film that's like
that's true.
But the book is great, and Greg Sestero, who played Mark in the movie, wrote the book.
Oh hi, Mark.
Oh hi, Mark. So, and she called me Mark at some point, like, just like, hey, Mark. And I'm just like, what?
Well, because
I'm going to shave my beard. I should shave my beard, cut this, shave my beard, and come back and be like, what do you think?
Oh, baby face.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
it was...
Yeah, you take it away and review it, because I've seen it, and I feel like my view is skewed on all those memories.
So, like, I'm still a little confused about a lot of plot themes and storylines. So the mother-in-law, so the mother had definitely had cancer, but then it was never talked about again.
Oh yeah, that was it.
They were wearing tuxedos, which I assumed was like the wedding day.
No, it was play football.
But it was just to play football, and then that was the last time the actor with the glasses was ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
The delivery of the line, oh my gosh, just I did enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie. And I don't know if it was because I kind of knew what to expect as far as like, you know, campy, like you kind of have to have this, you know, sensibility about it, that it, not to take it seriously, which I did a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, because I was like, oh, wait, what? What's going on with him? And you're like, just don't ask any questions. And I, for better or worse, ask questions. Whether you've seen it, whether he has not seen it. I'm like, Mike, what is going on with this movie? What's going to happen? What is the backstory? What are they going to do? And whether you've seen it or not, you're like, just shut up and watch the movie.
Yeah, this one especially, because I'm just like, there's no question I can answer for you. There's no question, like, who is this kid that's here? And I'm just like, they'll explain it, but it doesn't make sense.
Is that the son? Is that the like
the friend who later scolds her for hooking up with Mark, but was straight up ready to have a threesome with Mark until Mark was like, no, I gotta go. And I'm just like, dude, you could have nailed both of them right then and there.
Yeah.
Like,
but I still like, oh my gosh. And then him, like the sex scenes, just so, I mean, you know, sex scenes are in movies for a reason. We're all grown-ups. We like them. It is what it is. These were hard to watch.
Yeah, this was
no pun intended.
This wasn't Angelina Jolie and Taking Lives. Okay? This was the unrated edition. This was, or Body Heat. You know, this was Tommy Wiseau definitely, because at one point you can see during the scene his butt is covered, and he kicks it off. You can see him actually kick the sheet off, so his butt is seen. Visible. And I'm just.
And then there's another part where like the camera pans up, and you can see like he is totally posing where he's not even touching the bed.
Yeah. Because
he's in such a oh my gosh.
The whole movie's a debacle, but a great debacle, like a debacle I'm glad is around.
Yeah, it was. I definitely feel like I'm glad that I saw it, and I feel like I'm now part of this exclusive club for seeing it. Although I kind of wish I would have seen it before, like the Disaster Artist and all of the hoopla came out. But I don't know if I would have appreciated it as much.
No, I think you need to see the movie before the Disaster Artist.
Well,
So,
right. But before knowing about what the movie was about.
You should read the book too, because like
I
the
might.
movie's pretty good, but the book is by Greg. It's by him, so it's like for him, it's like his firsthand experience of just trying to deal with this guy who he had met in an acting class and was just like, let's make a movie. So we
Is that
can
how
star
it
in
happened?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Because Greg was also the line producer on it, and like the whole thing is just. And he comes out and he speaks a lot. He's been in the Alamo actually.
Oh, no way.
So because
Nice.
they'll show this movie, or they've shown other movies that he's been in. So, and he's come out and talk, and like I've heard some of his like
Dialogue
interviews
about
and
it,
stuff
yeah.
like that, and like for him, he knew when they were shooting
You
it
can
what
tell.
it was,
Right.
but he gave it his best. He tried,
Oh my
man.
gosh. And then the mother.
And they're still friends. They're in other movies together.
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I kind of like that he wrote this book like almost an expose, if you will.
Yeah.
And kind of, called it what it was, but they still... See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that they were still friends.
If you remember during, I think it was the Golden Globes, or it was either the Golden Globes or the Oscars, when James Franco won. I think it was the Golden Globes. Tommy Wiseau came up.
Yeah.
And was going to speak, and he was like, whoa, 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 no. And now you know why. Now you get.
Because we watched that together, and I was like, very, just not confused, but I didn't understand.
Yeah.
And now I understand.
So, what is your rating out of 5? Best of 5. I always do best of 5, so 5 stars. What is your rating of The Room, and how it made you feel?
So if you're going to look for a movie where it's, like great acting, you're going for the art of it, just the...
Keep in mind, this is like a 0% movie, so...
Oh my gosh. Well, so if you're going with the intent of seeing a great movie, I would give it a 0.5.
Yeah.
However, if you're going in it knowing what it's about, knowing what you're in for, even just... because I feel like it was a fraction what I knew about this movie going into it. And just that fraction, I would give it a 4. I'm not going to lie.
Right.
Like, knowing what I know, it was...
I would give it like a 2 or a 3 just from the great memories. So.
But even at the end, I'm not going to give any plot spoilers, but at the end, because I asked you, I was like, are there any plot twists? This and that. And of course, I got no answers. But
it's like there's not even a plot.
Like,
how can there be a plot twist?
Oh my gosh!
I heard you. Because I walked out of the room for a second, and all I heard was, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, he killed himself.
Well, I said, we were supposed to spoil it. I did say a bad word.
I can spoil a movie that came out in 2003 that they made a movie about that was up for an Oscar.
All right.
I don't care what anybody
I did say
thinks.
what the...
whatever.
Because
we'll let it go.
And I think it's because there were so many scenes on the roof, which I don't think they were actually on a roof. But like, because there were so many scenes on the roof, I really thought
somebody's going off that roof.
Yes.
Yeah, it was Glasses
like
Guy.
If you jumped off the roof or someone got pushed off the roof.
It was Glasses Guy. Why do you think he never came back? He almost got thrown off.
That's what I was expecting. Like, especially at the party where they're like, let's everybody go outside. I was like, oh, this is it. All right, I'm ready. Someone's going off the roof.
You were hoping. Well, anyway, I think we've gone on long enough about The Room. So this was Married Movie Challenge again, The Room.
The Room.
Mary's first time seeing it, not mine. She chose again, trying to dupe me. Didn't work.
I will remember this next time.
Go for it. There's not much that you can get me with. But next time, no, you choose. Oh, man. We'll see what happens. But like,
I hope I pick your name.
Yeah, you pick a name out of a hat, and then I choose the movie.
Out of the bowl.
Out of the bowl, whatever. So anyway, this is the Married Movie Challenge. I'm the Scene Snob, Mick Manhattan.
Mary the mommy.
Lovely bride. Check us out on thescenesnobs.com. We have plenty of other podcasts, Marriage Like That podcast, which we both host, and tons of other stuff. We have more shows coming.
We have a lot of fun stuff coming.
Yeah. Give us a like and subscribe on all of our platforms. And, just kind of keep in touch with us. Follow us on Instagram. I am at the Scene Snob on Instagram and Twitter. And Facebook, really. All 3 of them. And you are Mary the Mommy on
Straight Out of Nap Time.
Straight Out of Nap Time at on Instagram and Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, until next time, take care.
Take care.